to start my business at the age of 62. And I'm going to tell you that I did it for under £2,500. Hi everybody, I'm Andrew from Tales from the Chair. Why did I start this business at the age of 62? I decided that when I wanted to retire from education, teaching hairdressing and barbering at colleges, I wanted to retire early. And so I've been in this industry for 54 years. I started in 1971. I've had a few businesses before I went into education, and I had about 20 years teaching hairdressing and barbering in colleges. It's now 2025. So I'm now 70 years of age. So I've had a good run at this industry and I love the industry. But I wanted to have an exit strategy from teaching in the colleges. So at the age of 62, I decided to open up a business. And with a lot of research, looking at where the best place would be, not much competition in the area, because that would be detrimental to any business, I decided to go for where I am now. There's only 4 shops in the village, but it's a very busy village. There's a through traffic here like nothing else. It's absolutely wonderful amount of traffic. There's 4 buses every 10 minutes in both directions. So there's a good passing trade. There's a school at the end of the village, and then there's a general store at the other end of the village. And there's myself, and there's a ladies' hairdressers across the road from me. So I thought this would be a good place to do that. I didn't want to not do anything at all when I retired. Yes, I do gardening. I like walking. I like a bit of photography. But that's not all. I just like talking to people. I like listening to backstories of everybody. So I decided to start this business, age 62 years. Fantastic. But I wanted to do it for myself to prove I could do this again. So this would be like my 5th shop I've opened in the 54 years of hairdressing and barbering. I wanted to do it on a budget. I set myself a budget that it's not going to be difficult to do. So £2,500 is what I thought I could do this for. So I'm going to break that down on what I actually spent the money on. So the first thing was, when I looked at this shop, it had been vacant for about a year. It had been a barber shop, but there was no trade here. So it was a case of building it up from cold. But what there was in here was there was a couple of barber's chairs, some mirrors, some cabinets, some units, all bits and pieces. So what I decided to do was negotiation with the person who had this shop was paying them £1,000 for everything that was in. So there's £1,000 out of my 2,500. So then I in some leeway with rent. As I had done with other previous businesses, I always tried to have at least 2 months rent in advance, so I didn't have to worry about it. Now at the time in 2017, when I opened this business, it was £450 a month for the rent of this shop. So 2 months, that's £900. So that takes me to £1,900. That's only leaving me with about £600 left. I needed to buy some stock. I needed to buy some odds and ends, some mirrors, some extra combs, because I had all the other equipment. I had my own scissors and hair dryers and clippers, so that was okay. But there was incidentals. And that came to about £100 for those bits and pieces, just to get me started. So there's £2,000 gone. I needed to do some advertising. So with the advertising, it was a case of getting a lot of leaflets printed and delivered. So I had about 3,000 leaflets made, and I paid somebody in the family to go and do the delivery for me. So there was £50 for them to deliver it, and it was about £200 for the cost of the printing of the leaflets. So the £2,250. That's what I started with. That left me with £250 left. And 8 years on from then, I'm still going. It's still busy. I still managed to get through COVID, through the lockdowns. Um, some people in industry didn't do that, but most of us did manage to survive. So I'm still here at the age of 70, cutting hair, talking to people, which is one of the most important things I really enjoy. Everybody's got a backstory, and I just love that kind of thing. And when I was in education, I always used to say to the students, if you want to start a business, you've got to research where you want to go. Look at the area. How busy is it? Is there going to be plenty of trade for you? Is there another barber's across the road? Or is there another 4 barbers in the street? You've got to make sure that you do your homework. You can't just open up and hope for the best. You've got to be able to say that the money that you're going to use, are you going to borrow it from the bank or from family and friends? Whichever way you've got to do it, you've got to pay it back. So make sure you do it in the means that you possibly can. And that's what I did. I found after the first 6 months of opening in 2017, I was able to pay myself back the initial loan. And today, I'm still going. So that's the reason, and that's how I did it. And I will catch you in the next video with some more stories from Tales from the Chair.